Hello, hi, I'm Angela, and this is my channel, La Luna Ray. Please come into my space and my energy. You are welcome. Okay, so let's move on to who the Fool runs into next. The next person the Fool sees is the Magician. So the Magician card, let's talk about the planet first. Sorry. The Magician card is associated with the planet Mercury. And it's also associated with the elements of air and earth. So when it comes to Mercury, we're talking about the Roman god Mercury, who is the messenger of the gods transmitting wisdom to humans. And that makes so much sense because what do we see our magician doing? He's got his scepter up and he is pointing it towards the gods, towards the cosmos, and he's bringing some energy down from them. He is transmuting that energy and bringing it down to earth. So he is acting like a conduit between the gods, right? He's bringing divine energy down and bringing it into reality, into our space and time. So that's the Magician. So yeah, and that's exactly what I have in my book. The Magician is pulling from source or God and bringing this magical energy down to earth, into the here and the now. One thing I want to point out in this card is how you see so many roses and lilies surrounding this magician. Why is that? So the roses actually represent feminine, divine feminine energy. And then lilies actually represent divine masculine energy. So you've got this combination of divine feminine and masculine energy starting to come together. And what happens when you bring the feminine and the masculine together? Manifestation. Okay, so that's just another play on bringing something forward, right? He is able to pull from source, from the gods, bringing it into, I should say, he's reaching into the unseen, into a space that we can't really see, right? We can feel, but we can't see it. He's reaching into the unseen and he's transmuting that energy and bringing it into the seen. When you look at the card, you see that the magician is surrounded by a white light. That is that divine energy kind of running through him, kind of that energetic, electric force kind of running through him because he is the conduit in this space. You can see around his waist, he's got the Ouroboros belt. That is the representation of eternal cycles of transformation and alchemy, because that is what he's doing. He's transforming and he is doing some alchemy here by bringing from source to the scene and bringing manifestation forward. On the table, you can see he has all of the tools that you will see throughout the tarot. He has the wand, the cup, the pentacle, and the sword. And I will get into all of those things a little bit later. But yes, he has all of the tools that he needs to complete his journey, complete everything that he is called to complete during his journey. He has all the tools right there with him. And the message that I want to stress about those tools is that that was what was in the Fool's backpack. All of those tools, right? He had the wand, and then in here he has the pentacle, he has the cup, he has the sword. Everything is sitting within his reach, within his space, but he's like not thinking about it, right? So this is the unconscious space. And then you're going to step into the conscious space. Now we are conscious. Now everything is turned on, the juices are moving, and we can start creating and manifesting things into our lives. And that's why this card is ruled by the planet Mercury. In fact, Mercury moves very quickly, right? It moves, I think, the fastest around the sun. It moves in 88 days. It moves around the sun, whereas, Earth, it takes 365 days to complete an orbit, whereas Mercury, 88 days and it's done. It is that great messenger, it's that great mover, it's that, it gets everything going and moving and turning everything on. So that's what you want to think of when you look at the Magician card. So when you see this card in a reading, this is the time you tell, if you're reading for someone you're querying, or if you're just reading for yourself, this is when you let them know you have everything you need to complete the journey of getting to whatever you have on your mind. You have everything that you need to do this. Okay, that is the biggest takeaway with this card. You've been given by the gods all that you need. You have all of your tools. You can manifest whatever it is that you have on your mind. You just have to take control and start getting some things done. Now, in reverse, this card is a little different. This card in reverse could mean that you don't have everything that you think you do, and it could also mean some trickery, and don't ever forget about that. So this card can also kind of signify, if you start to see this, especially when it talks about relationships, you know, it could, depending on the surrounding cards, it could even signify cheating. So you've got something going on where someone's trying to trick you, right? Someone's telling you they have all of these things, or they're trying to just sell you something that's too good to be true. That's what this card is in reverse. If it sounds too good, then it's probably not true, right? So keep that in mind when you see this card in reverse, or if it's surrounded by very negative cards that can also convey a negative take on this card by itself. Okay, so with that said, let's move on. The Fool's journey. After he meets with the magician, he runs into the High Priestess. And what does the High Priestess want to tell him?